Yeah, and there's 3 sheets competing with 6 games.
Hey, good
Six
morning,
players.
everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us from the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships here in Wausau, Wisconsin at the Wausau Curling Center. Today's session at 8 o'clock is our women's tiebreakers. 4 teams are out there. Um, we've got I want to do it backwards. So we have Team Walsh is playing out of the Mopac region, the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, and they're playing the Ann Swisshelm Rink from the Great Lakes Curling Association out of the Detroit Curling Club. And then the featured sheet is Team Segovia out of the Curling Club of Houston, the MACA region, number 1, versus the at-large team Politano from the Ardsley Curling Club. So we're looking for some exciting curling. These women they want to reach the semifinals at noon, and we're going to bring you the action. We're covering obviously Politano and Segovia, but Swisshelm and Kraus are right next door, and we'll give you updates as they happen. So I'm Steve O'Keefe.
I'm Chris Horick. And we're going to bring you a play-by-play action, try and give you an idea of how the game is played and what they're looking at for the results on their shots.
So it's an early morning, Chris. We do have a few people on the stream. For those watching, hey, welcome. Thanks for jumping on and viewing with us. You know, if you have any questions, throw them up in the chat. Let us know who you're rooting for.
We appreciate the feedback. Let us know how we're doing. If there's a certain subject you have questions on or just want to discuss, we'll be happy to try and bring that into the broadcast. Hopefully you can participate with us this morning. A lot of you sitting in your recliners with your blanket and your favorite pet on your lap, a cup of coffee. Hope you're enjoying the program this morning.
Coffee for sure. Breakfast of Champions. Chris, I'm real excited to see Politano and Segovia because we weren't able to feature them on a stream during the round robin. So for them to meet in tiebreakers, I think is great.
Worked out perfect.
What a great story, the curling club out of Houston. It's an arena club and apparently the oldest arena club. 50 years old, they celebrated an anniversary recently, so kudos to them. And playing a young team out of Ardsley should be exciting.
Oh, definitely. Young teams bring a new fire to the game, and arena clubs are very competitive. A lot of people take them for granted when they get to a championship or to a high-profile bonspiel. And Politano rink there, playing the yellow back into the red, rolling out the side with the shooter and the backstone, leaving the yellow there of Segovia's pretty well buried behind the long guard. Might have put themselves in a tougher position. Segovia's third rock of the end coming down the sheet. They're working pretty hard at it here, trying to get a good read on the ice. Rocks curling. We've had some amazing curling from the USA Curling ice technician Sean Olson and his crew. I'm going to get a little biter here on the side, and Politano's going to go after this one because it's in the open. So try and play the hit and roll over. Looking for a takeout. For a right-hander, this is what they call an in-turn, or a clockwise rotation stone. And they're playing out on the wing here. Sometimes the rocks will curl a little bit more. They're looking for a little curl here, get a little bit outside. But got enough of the stone to get rid of it. Segovia is looking to put that stone back over on a little bit better position. Looks for the T line here. Her fourth stone at the end. This will be halfway through the end for us.
Chris Segovia comes in as the number 1 seed in these tiebreakers. Four teams log jammed at 3-2 in Pool B after round robin play. So they went and looked at head-to-head. Segovia apparently won every match against these teams, and so then they looked at the last stone draw to break that tie, but they came out on top.
Yeah, the last stone draw is at the end of each team's practice, 9-minute practice, for the before each game, the team is required to throw one in-turn or clockwise rotation for right-handeds and one counterclockwise rotation to the button. And those scores are tabulated at the end of the competition. The team with the rocks closest to the pin consistently, lowest draw shot challenge or last shot draw, they rise to the top and that becomes the tiebreaker, or the seeding used for that. And with Segovia having the head-to-head, I don't know what the last shot draws were, but that was kind of kept with the officiating staff. And Segovia's looking to draw one center house here, kind of cover up the 4-foot.
It's looking good with 2 in the house already.
Yep, and with Hammer, that's
exactly
looking to do some moving today. She wants to secure her spot. She was being that her team beat all 3 of the other competitors on the ice this morning. She was looking for a free in. She didn't feel that she was going to have to play in the tiebreakers this morning. Thought she qualified for the semifinals, and it was explained to her in a different manner that that was not how it was determined.
Well, I mean, she was in the logjam of 3 and 2 teams in Pool B.
Well, when we watched that develop yesterday, there were some people playing the spoilers there big time. When you watch those teams just knock each other off, and it happens. You run into a buzzsaw. One team gets hot, another team falls off. We saw that with one of the 4-1 teams on the women's side. They could have gone 4-0, but they had just had a
5-0
or 5-0, yes. Just had a really rough game, and bounced back from that.
You sure did. That, of course, was the Mandy Hampton rink out of the Madison Curling Club, playing out of the state of Wisconsin, defending champion. And you know, amazingly enough, it was, what are we sitting? 5 years ago, she had a team up in the 500 National Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. So just
a 10-year curler, virtually, right?
I don't even really
less.
know when she started. I don't know how many years she had in when she went to that 500 Bonspiel. That was new. That was the first time that that had happened, and I don't know, something to find out, I guess. 10 years or under, I guess.
Yep, fair to say that. Well, Segovia makes a nice draw down on top of that red stone to use that as a guard on the back of the stone. Politano's going to go after this rock on the outside and hit and try and roll up to those 2 stones on the other side. Potential for a double takeout or just a chance to roll into those and use those as back guards, cover on the backside.
So, Chris, this is a young, I'll call it a young team. It's not a junior team, but it's a young team. With so how will that impact the mentality going into, you know, tiebreakers and possibly semifinals versus, you know, obviously more experienced?
Well, hard to say. It's how much sports psychology they've had, how much work they've done with their coaches. I know Bill Stapera is a very, very structured coach.
There you see him sitting in the
See
chair.
him in the back end there.
On the right.
He, they work. Anytime you work with players that are younger, you have to kind of mold them, get them to think differently, think for themselves. But you also have to have them in the team mentality. They all have to be on the same page. That's the biggest thing. And with the younger players, they tend to sometimes fall apart or fall off that page together.
Is it a focus issue, a attention span issue?
Not always. Sometimes it's just you don't think your skip is right, and it happens on every level of curling. You get a little bit of dissension, and all of a sudden there's rift, the front end doesn't think that the back end, the lead and second, might not think that the skip and third are calling the right game, or the skip and third might think that the lead and second aren't holding up their end. And that can become a problem at times, but that, like I said, that can happen with any team. But a lot of times,
Usually dissension happens after you've been losing for a while.
well, when you run into a team you haven't had to play, or that you've, in this case, Segovia beat Politano. Now Politano's coming back to get the revenge game, but in the back of their mind, they lost. They've lost once to them already. So they either have to turn that to a positive and go, we're going to beat them this time. We're going to split the series, or, oh boy, here we go again.
Well, and obviously they sit with their coach and they analyze any missed shots that they've had, and they make those little corrections that they need and come out with the confidence again to battle this team.
Yep. And they're strong players. There's no doubt about that. To go 3-2 here, this is a pretty strong pool. You've got some really good players, good shot makers, good strategists. And when you've got a young team, you've got a lot of energy. You can get a little older, a little longer in tooth.
Speak for yourself.
Hey, I am. I know what it used to take. Been doing this for over 40 years, and it was a lot easier 30 years ago.
So we've got 2 rocks left. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, it looks like Politano wants to freeze down to that yellow-red combination in the back of the house and try and hide in front of that yellow rock. And when you say hide in front of it, if you don't have a guard out front,
which they don't. Well, there's one out there.
There's one out there. It's pretty far out, though, and with the way the ice is swinging, you can get to those stones. And she's trying to get down there and sit count and make Segovia go after her. And Segovia, with the rock locked up there on the inside, now can come down. Knows that red back, hit the yellow on an angle into the red, pop both the reds out, and have a yellow, two yellow. Doesn't look like that's what she's doing. She's that's a lot of ice for a takeout. Might be throwing a softer takeout. Doesn't have to do a whole lot. Looking like a call there. Tap on the hip by the third was board, was communicating that to the front end players based on what their ice call is. Sounded like they had a little bit of a discussion there as to where you're putting the broom down. Is that too much? Well, we're only going to throw board weight here. I believe that's the call that they showed. So Segovia is going to throw. If she throws too much weight here, it may not curl enough to get to the red stone. End up shooting it across the face of the other two if she does catch enough of it. So Segovia for the light take here. Looking to possibly.
First in hammer, they're off of it. We'll see what it's past the hog line, coming into the 12-foot.
Oh. Yeah, I think that's a good indication of why the front end was looking at the ice call there. That's what they were asking for the weight. The weight looked like it was board. It wasn't excessive. Just took a little bit too much ice for that shot, I believe. So Politano with the big steal early goes up 1-0 over Segovia.
Welcome to all you new streamers with us from the Wausau Curling Center. 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships from Wausau, Wisconsin. We have Politano versus Segovia, Ardsley versus Curling Club of Houston. And Politano just came away in the first end with a steal of 1. So Segovia retains the hammer, heading into the second end after they chat. They're working out any last second jitters. Still looking happy.
Game on sheet D, getting down to skip stones here.
A lot of rocks in play on that sheet.
Wow.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, maybe 13.
Almost all the rocks touching the circles.
And that game is Ann Swisshelm versus Sarah Walsh out of San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. And obviously out of Detroit.
Tunnel's first shot in the second end. Draw to the 8-foot. Well played. Segovia calls for a corner guard. Opposite side of the house, just short of the house.
A lot of rocks in play on that sheet, Chris, but red is 1.
Yep.
So, and Swisshelm has the hammer, so and she is yellow.
I just saw all the stones that I thought I'd throw up the overhead for us on our end. And it is a mess.
She's heavy on a draw, past the tee line, through the 8-foot, touching 12-foot. So it is a steal of 1 for Sarah Walsh.
Wow.
So they weren't afraid to come out and
Put rocks in play.
put rocks in play. That must have been what Ann wanted, and it didn't work out for her this time. But I guarantee you she'll put some numbers up on the board. Former Olympian, recently crowned gold medalist out in Seattle at the USA Curling Senior Nationals, soon to be headed to South Korea. Well-traveled curler.
Well, and she's sat in the booth and done some commentary for some of the broadcasts, whether it be 1210 Sports or
I think she's done everything.
pretty much. I don't know if she's been an ice maker yet.
She might have tried.
Never know. Have to ask her on that one next time we interview her.
I don't know who. Do you know the Detroit ice maker? I don't.
No, unfortunately, I do not. But she wasn't in Detroit all the time. I believe she was.
Exmoor.
Yep, in the Chicago area. And we rejoin the Segovia Politano game. 4 rocks played, 4 rocks visible. 1 rock in the house here with red county.
Seems to be a little up weight. Sweeping for straight.
Looking to get around that red. We're going to just catch a corner of it.
They're covering a rock.
Got a bonus guard out of that, covered the rock in the house in the 8-foot. Segovia's going to try and go underneath that red stone, go to the center, or right to left. So counterclockwise rotation.
You know, we see the coaches. Each team does have a coach with them, sitting behind the board, trying to stay warm.
It's approximately 42 degrees out on the ice. But when you're not moving, that 50-55% humidity really can make you feel colder than you are.
Chills you to the bones a little bit after a while. I know Deputy Chief Umpire this week was Susie Sarnetsky, and we caught her many times going in and out, trying to get more those heating things, heat warmers. Officials also are out there for the duration, sitting motionless.
Politano rink throwing a little bit of a heater here. Gonna try and pick that yellow rock off the outside. Got the hit, roll underneath. Got to where Segovia was trying to go on the last shot.
Really
And
putting
now
pressure on.
Yeah, using Segovia's own stone as a blocker or guard. She's going to use that as a weapon. She's going to knife that back into that red stone, I believe. So she can set up the yellow where the yellow red exists now.
They want to sweep, but they're called off.
Looks it's going to catch a quarter.
Jiggle a little in front.
Left the shot stone open, but also covered back up where that other red guard was. Politano goes to block or guard. Sitting 2. Looking to steal. Bill Stapera looks really happy back there.
He's deep in thought.
Analyzing every shot, every call.
Ready to jump at the moment's notice to give insight and input to this young team. Obviously, a great curling family.
Well, and a good coach can bring points to the board, unseen points.
Sure.
As you said before, that confidence level, shaking off a not so good game and coming back and getting fresh for the next game and new attitudes.
Politano's third is Bill's daughter, Megan Stapera, and then obviously Megan's brother is Andrew Stapera.
I saw Andrew in the stands here early in the competition.
It's a family affair. Andrew skip of, well, is it still Team Dropkin? Or is it Team Stapera now?
I'm not sure what the actual team name is. They were changed up their roster a little bit here and there.
What plays with Dropkin? How about that?
Maybe somebody can throw it somebody in the know-how there can chime in on our web stream. Let us know.
Yeah, we're slowly creeping up in numbers. People are waking up, finishing their coffee pot. We've almost 50 people, Chris.
Wow.
Yeah, so welcome. If you're joining us late, we have Team Segovia versus Team Politano. Ardsley versus the Curling Club of Houston. And on a sheet nearby, sheet D, we have Ann Swisshelm out of the Detroit Curling Club. They're playing Team Walsh out of the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. That's an exciting story out of Mopac. Dedicated ice for them. And they held the playdowns to reach this event.
Team Segovia here with the second of the third stones. Trying to play a takeout here and possibly almost got the double there. Plus a roll on. Got a little biter there on top.
Down to Skips Rocks though, Chris, and there's 2 red in there.
Yep. They've had some half shots this end on both sides. Politano's looking at this. They're gonna take a hard look. We're discussing this a little bit of smiles popping up here and there, talking about what they can do.
It's all about the options, and then what if you have too many options, Chris? How do you?
You have to try and go with what gives you the best scoring opportunity and the best protection. Especially in her case where she does not have hammer, she has a great opportunity to possibly score 3. If she can bury another stone here. And it looks like they're gonna try and draw in and either cover first count or come through that port and down to first count.
I think what you don't want to do is come through a port and be a little deep.
No, you don't want to give them anything behind the tee line, anything to draw down to. Give them a backstop of some kind. That rock becomes their friend, the opponent's friend then.
And they've just seen that shot then.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, they're looking like this is gonna need some sweep here.
A little clean, now they're both on it.
Yep, she's playing the guard, I believe.
So just trying to place it where they want it.
There you
See
can
Megan waiting for it. It's a high guard.
really high guard, but that high guard takes away the port that we were talking about, covers her red stone, and also covers the raise on that yellow stone in the center on the center line.
A lot of people avoid high guards, but I like them.
On swingy ice, they aren't very effective, but with the other rocks behind it, eliminating a lot of the travel line for the stones, it does make a good guard.
Well, obviously, yep, situational. I should qualify that with. Sometimes they don't make any sense at all.
Yep, and the call from the third here for Segovia is they're going to raise that yellow rock that's just off the circle, sitting on the 4-foot line. Angle raise that back toward the number 1 stone, count stone for Politano to try and knock that red stone out of there. I don't know if they're going to throw enough to heat this up and make them all move, but based on that line,
Which one are they raising?
they're raising the yellow on the 4-foot line. I believe she's looking just to raise that straight back to the tee.
Oh, on the sweep line there?
Yep, right on the 4-foot sweep line, just outside the circles.
Soft clean, both on now. Communicating. Head down.
Taking a look to see where they are. Third calls them off.
Past the hog line.
Well, they're going right around it. Nope. Didn't quite get to it. Was hung out a little bit on them while they were sweeping for weight. Kept it straight. Didn't allow
Big
it to
opportunity
quite
now
go.
for Politano.
Yep. They'll either throw up another guard, which is what it looks like they're going to play.
Protect that in off.
Well, I don't think she can take away everything. You've got the yellow-red that she can hit that yellow-red combination on the outside. Politano can hit that and roll across the shot rock.
With that red sitting there for a nice in off, I would think that would be the.
Yeah. Yep, that would be the shot to take. Now, nobody's looked at the other side of the sheet, and if you look at the left side of the sheet, there's a yellow rock that's a little farther out that you could potentially raise back, and you have almost half the house there to play to. On our overhead picture, you can see the Yellowstone just peeking into the picture. So there are some options for Politano, even if, or for Segovia, if Politano makes a perfect guard here. As a skip, you want to try and eliminate as many possibilities of the other team scoring on you.
Well, it's going to bite.
Yep. And it looks like it's drawn in for third count. That might not be the worst thing in the world for him there. Give him another rock and house, another counter. Really puts the pressure on Segovia at this point. Third likes that raise yet. The rock they just jarred around a little bit. I do believe you can get to that. It's on the outside of the, well, it's on the inside of the 4-foot line. And so is that red guard. Not a lot of room with that long guard out there. That shot's there, but she's going to take a look at the other side of the house. Her third's drawn her back over. Now she's looking at that in-off that you were talking about, Steve.
Yeah, which didn't end up being guarded.
Nope, that shot's there. Worst case scenario, she knows it hits this. Well, I shouldn't say worst case scenario, but if she hits it and doesn't roll in, she cuts them to 1, which is
Better than 3.
anytime, any day of the week. But if she gets a partial inside hit, she rolls inside and gets count. Big score with the hammer.
Yeah, I mean, she just needs half white. That'll count Politano. Doesn't need a lot of weight. Does have a narrow broom, tight broom.
Well, her last rock didn't come up and she didn't have a lot of weight, so I think she's
Wants to
thinking
be
it's
more
not.
firm.
Yep, wants to be a little tighter here. Wants to be able to get the roll off. And wants to get to the inside of the stone. Scovia's rock, final rock at the end. They're sweeping. No, they're hard on it now. The sweepers
Maybe it's
are
close.
looking. Oh, it's got to be close. They're calling on him off.
Now they're off.
And the nose hit forward. The
No roll.
no roll, but they did cut him down to 1.
Another steal for Politano.
Could have been devastating for Segovia there to give up 3 this early.
Agree.
On top of another and as a steal. So that was a good save, the good skip stone there. Give him a little confidence, get him a little build. And the game is still within reach, 2-0 after 2.
2-0 Politano over Segovia, and on sheet D, it's tied up. 1-1 Swiss Helm versus Walsh.
High fives around by the Politano rink.
Remember on sheet D, Walsh stole one in the first, and Swiss Helm maintained the hammer and came back and scored 1. So it looks like that's going to be a tight game.
Everybody wants to keep playing today. Nobody wants to go away quietly.
Well, they've come this far, and this is their 6th game in 3
days.
days.
And they're going to have a 3-game day today if they're going to go to the finals. So they've got to have some staying power today. That might be where that youth comes into effect.
Well, we have a cheering fan show up and chat. Matt Shiner. Hello, Matt. I know Matt.
Good morning, Matt. Oh, Steve looks like he needs more coffee.
I do need more coffee. Maybe Craig Perry can get me some more coffee.
I don't think he heard you.
I know.
Hey, barmaid. Nope. He didn't hear that either.
It's quiet.
And Segovia's first rock of the 3rd end. Coming down. Ooh, might not make the hog line here. Working really hard to get it across and does not enter the field of play.
A hog stone, a rare occurrence. We've seen a couple, but
might be seeing some fatigue here and lack of focus due to the early morning game.
you know, the ice will be a little different this morning. There's only 4 teams out there versus 12. And it does make a little difference once you have all 12 teams out there generating some heat and some.
Yep, there you can
energy.
see some difference in the amount of curl. You can see some difference in the. Thank you, Jim. You can see some difference in the speed of the rocks. Jim Wendling just awarded us.
Another thing Jim did, he designed this pin.
He designed the event pin and put those on here. Add that to our collection today.
Thanks, Jim.
Segovia
It's a double posted one. Must be heavy.
Nope, just keep it from spinning. So Segovia pulls this rock over the hog line and adds to the guard on the red stone Politano in the house.
Another Ardsley fan club member, Daniel Casper.
Daniel's played at juniors, I believe. Name's familiar. And Politano is throwing their rock around that yellow. Looking to lock up another guard over the top of that red in the house.
Chuckling. We're getting some chatters. Nathan's awake with his toddler at 6. He said, the only thing good about that is I get to turn this game on.
Oh, fantastic.
We know that's not true.
That's
There's-
not the best thing that's
There's-
happening today.
There's more fun things at 6 a.m. with a toddler. I have 2 boys that are not toddlers anymore, but I remember those days. So
Segovia with their third stone of the end. Looks like they're going to try and move some granite with this one. A little bit more speed on this. Pick some guards. Oh, move their own guard. The trouble with leaving your rock short when you have hammer, you got to shoot your own guards out of the way sometimes.
if you're just joining us, Politano has stole her way to a 2-0 lead.
Looks well on her way on this third end. All 3 rocks played so far in the house or covering the house.
She stole 1 in first and 1 in second. And now is setting himself up for another steal, it looks like.
Some very well played rocks. Good ice calls
And biter
yep. Oh yeah, corner on.
covered.
A good looking house for Politano. Segovia's got to be wondering what's happening to her team. They played them earlier in the round robin and didn't have too much of a problem the way it sounded.
These 2 teams met in the round robin, and Segovia came out victorious. Segovia comes into the tiebreakers as the #1 seed, having beaten everyone else. And
Participating in the tiebreakers, yes.
Politano comes in as the 4 seed.
Well, just pushed the third stone into the house. Putting a little more pressure on herself, but there is a yellow rock that becomes offensive up on the top. As a guard, they're happy with the result of that. Got a little bit less clutter there. Got a little more room to draw to the house.
Offensive, huh? I could pull out some Cal Tillich. Is it smelly? Is it rude?
Well, you can generate some offense behind it. If you're looking for those Packer fans out there, you can get some Aaron Rodgers working behind that.
You know, I'm a Aaron Rodgers fan. I am not a Jordan Love fan. But that's a different story, different sport.
Yep. Yeah, we gotta give a shout out to the Packers. We're in Wisconsin, Steve. Wisconsin. You gave a Manitowoc Minute shout out earlier.
It wasn't a shout out, but yeah, it was
well,
a mention
reference
for sure.
Mention.
Reference.
So a nice draw to the back of the 1, maybe a little deeper than Politano was looking for, but 4 out of 5 rocks in play in the house for Politano.
Scully's asking her vice to take care of some business here.
Follow that red rock down and sit right on top of it. Freeze to that stone. They're on it hard early here. Either they're looking a little bit light or not enough broom. Maybe a little tight on the release. Rock looks like it's curling.
He's curling.
Wow, are they going to get by their guard? They're going to be
Will
close.
not be by the guard.
Oh, wow. And they just threw up a guard in front of the opposing stone.
It looks better for Politano.
Yeah, they're struggling, that's for sure. Now, Politano wants to build a wall with those yellow bricks. He says, hey, they're going to throw up a foundation for us. We're going to throw up a wall on top of that foundation. Do a little building. 4 rocks in the house right now. There's got to be giving Segovia a little bit of a...
I'm sure she's not happy to look at them.
No, she's talking to her third, and her third's going back down for her second stone. Had a little discussion of what was going on. See the coaches back there talking to each other.
No sweeping here.
Nope. Nope. Got to figure out what they're going to do with it. Are they going to
Plan B in
play
action?
off of one of the stones? No, they're going to just
Or is
let
it
it.
perfect.
They're going to let it putter down here. Slow down. It's not quite where she was looking for.
Nope.
It's about a stone and a half over. She was looking to put that right between the yellow rocks.
It's probably in between. She probably wanted to sweep, but knew that that would probably give a tap.
But that was actually a good way to let it finish, because now if they try and run the red rock back, chances are it's going to angle the yellow off. And they're going to try and draw around there, or possibly raise that yellow rock that's out front all by itself. Couple options.
Alyssa Parks, the third, delivering her final stone. And there's a tap.
Segovia's rocks glides to the back of the house and just through.
A very heavy tap.
I think they were looking to tap that right to that one on the 1 foot, and rock overcurled a little bit. Got too straight. They were trying to push it on an angle, and it looked like the last 2 or 3 feet that rock moved over almost a half a stone. Looked good coming in at the hog, but just overcurled a little at the end.
Skip stones with Segovia sitting 4. Or, excuse me,
Politano sitting 4.
Sitting 4.
Segovia is going to have to make a good shot here again. She played the hit and potential roll to cut them down from 3 in the last end to only give away 1. Looks like she's going to be playing just as much pressure as she had last Skip's rock.
Imagine she wants to play a better guard on those 2 yellows, at least the one yellow that's exposed here.
Yeah, I believe she's going to try and cover the outside of that. Looks like they've taken a little bit more room, more line of delivery. Sweeping hard, they're seeing it move over here. And that's going to play right into their hands here. They're trying to cover the outside, and that's a really nice shot. That's pretty much what they were looking to do. There is still a straight raise there, but that is a really tight hole to get through between those 2 reds to raise that yellow they just moved.
I don't even know, looking at the overhead. A little distortion out on the end, but I don't know if you get to the...
I believe you can get to it. It's because you want to hit it just slightly off center to the outside, but you've got to come from the center, I believe, from that other side to do that. And she's looking...
What's their other choice, Chris?
Well, you can play the red-yellow combination back, and worst case scenario, you nose that red. The center yellow comes off the side of that other yellow and goes into the 2 red catchers on the top of the 8 foot, and you get something in there, and you get it open for your final shot.
They're looking at all the combinations now.
That's their shot right there, I believe. I think they take that red stone next to her broom. She's going to play the yellow, I believe.
Yeah.
But I think if she took the red straight back and just kind of blew up those 3 stones, she might leave her yellow on the left side of the center line, or right on the center line. But the other 2 yellows, one would go toward the rock on the far outside of the circles, and the other one would glance off the side of the yellow and go into the pile in the middle.
Well, let's stick with this one.
See what she does. She's got her shot just determined. It was pretty evident that she was looking at that straight back raise right away. Her third's got an eye on it. She's got the broom down, and Segovia's first of 2, the 3rd end. Taking an extra breath in the hack.
Sweeping right away. Hard.
Oh,
and it is curling.
It is curling. Can you play off the red into the yellow? Oh, now you got a triple guard powerhouse trio there of yellow that's going to be really hard to move.
Can you come through that port? No.
That's tighter than the other side, Steve. She needed to, I think she needed to blow up her yellow there. She might watch this and maybe see that shot later on.
Well, Politano with her last skip stone. Excellent opportunity to put more granite in front of the house, I guess.
Well, here she's going to try and...
Or just draw behind yellow.
Oh, I don't think she. I think that's an option, but I think her actual shot is going to be a guard, tight house guard, and cover right next to those yellow to keep Segovia from getting in the house.
It's a good thing that's what I said first.
But if she does get a little heavy here and she can get around the yellow, we can pull that
Well,
to the
hey,
top
hey,
8.
you know,
Doesn't hurt to have another rock in play.
it, chances of keeping a red in play are
She's got the
pretty
guard
good.
here, though. I believe she's
Slipping past those.
Little glide. Got a little glide path.
And she's going to sit for another count.
Well, they're going to draw that in harder. That is as good as being out next to those yellows because that keeps Segovia out of the 4
It shuts down the 4-foot for sure.
So my guess is she may play off this outside stone.
This is a pressure-packed shot here for Julie Segovia with the hammer, facing 5.
She throwing up the.
This could blow this game wide open.
Oh yeah. That's what. See the smiles on the third and the skip on the Politano rink back there.
They're loose.
No pressure back there at all. They are here to play today.
They're probably discussing something like, why didn't this happen the first game?
Segovia is looking here, I think, just to throw T-weight at this.
Well, here it comes. They're on and then they're off. Now they're on, both sweepers.
Looking just for T-weight, trying to cut her down. Get as much in the house as they can. Where are they going? How much weight do they have?
Into the house, past the...
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, steal of 5.
Well, that was a great end by Politano.
Yep,
With a steal of 5.
Everything happened the way they wanted it there, that's for sure.
It is now 7-0 over the Curling Club of Houston and Segovia. So obvious disappointment now. Now they face a very uphill struggle. After the third end, they need to find a way to generate some points. They do still have the hammer. Now our other sheet, Swiss Helm versus Walsh. In the third end,
Bill Stapera having a conversation with Skip and Segovia's coach doing the same.
Swiss Helm stole a point. Let's go up
2-1.
2-1 after 3.
Tight game there. Politano rink looks like they're going to throw up a stone here. Probably what we call a sweet spot somewhere in the top of the 8-foot on the center line. Force Segovia to go after it. Got a little deep there, but it is in play. Segovia calls for the corner guard. Try and build her end. Try and pick up a few more. Pick up a few more rocks, get on the board. Everything went Politano's way last end. Maybe Segovia's looking to get that lucky horseshoe on this end. Well executed game by Politano. Up to this point, they put rocks in play, guarded them well. Second rock of the lead for Politano. Looking at sweeping here a little bit and then on and off again. Look, must be close to where they're looking to go. And they decided that they'll pull it in as tight as they can. Cover their stone up. Good alignment there. Segovia looks to draw under her yellow. Use her guard. Segovia's team sweeping very hard here. Trying to get that rock in deeper than the opposing stone. They get a rock in play. Segovia gets partial cover with a little bit longer guard, 2-zone guard. And Politano says, I don't like that rock there. Let's get rid of that. Haven't done a lot of shooting here. They've been primarily drawn in the house. Amber Will placing the first of her 2 stones. Looks like they're looking for a solid hit there. Whoop. Caught that guard. And that's a member of the free guard zone there. That rock is protected until the 6th shot of the end. And skip for the Segovia team comes up, positions her stone where she felt it should be, where it was removed from and put back. It's like the other rock was never played. You can't hit a free guard rock anywhere. Any rock in play above the circles, but beyond the hog line is not allowed to be taken out of play by the opposing team until the 6th rock of the end. 5 rock free guard rule.
Good explanation on that. Good morning, everyone. As our numbers creep up on the stream, you're joining Politano out of Ardsley versus Segovia out of the Curling Club of Houston, and you're seeing that score correctly. Politano has stole her way to a 7-0 lead over Segovia. And in other action, Ann Swisshelm is leading Sarah Walsh 2-1. Also after 3.
Playing their way to the mid-game break here after the 4th end.
And also playing their way into the semifinals at noon today. And they'll face two of these 4 teams will face either Mandy Hampton out of Madison or Cynthia Smith out of Denver. Both of those teams are 4-1 in Pool A.
Segovia's 4th rock of the end. Looks like they're playing down onto the red stone. Coming around that corner again. Oh, and just catches the corner. Well, looked like they had really good weight for that shot. Just didn't get around that red stone.
Chris, I'm seeing a familiar sight in this Red Rocks in the house.
I believe if Politano wouldn't have had that free guard rule violation, you'd be seeing more Red Rocks in the house right now. That was a big miss for him. Not that it's hurting them at this point, but it surely didn't help them. Now the Politano rig is trying to pull that yellow rock off, and now they're sitting on a little red fence on the left side of the house with 1 rock guarding that.
All behind the tee.
All out counting that sole yellow that's wide open on the other side of the house. I believe, I shouldn't say wide open, there is a long guard there. I forgot about that long guard. Can't see that on the overhead projection. So Segovia's 5th rock of the end, trying to make that come around again and nestle into the reds. Trying to curl around that corner guard. They moved it over a little bit last time, so they gotta get it to curl a little bit here. It's kind of hard to go by these now. There's 3 of them in a row.
Right. Bound to hit something.
Wow, that's a beautiful shot. Sitting second count, welded to that red rock on the corner of the 4. They're going to try and draw one through the other way. Oh. And Bill is shaking his head. He says, nope, I don't think that's the shot. He's going, nope. See the coach wiggling. I believe this is only the second year that coaches can sit on the ice with the players. That was something they started at Worlds and the Olympics, I believe, would be on the ends of the sheets like they are here in some of the seating, where in previous years they've been either behind the glass and off the sheet completely. Now an approach to like basketball or football, you put the coach on the sideline and allow them to interact with their players during the game.
They can roll them up and down, they can move around, high-five the players.
Well, Politano throws up a guard here. They're protecting their 1. They have a 7-0 lead. They don't need to score a lot here. They just need to put some pressure on Segovia and hope that they make a mistake.
Obviously, you want to hold the team with hammer to 1 if you can.
Most definitely. Our ice crew preparing here for the mid-game break. They mop the sheet in between play while the players rest, take a little nourishment, get a refocus on the game. Segovia's last third stone, leaving just skip stones for both players.
Good shot of Alyssa Parks watching that shot.
Curling hard. Looks like it's going to be on that red stone. Opens it up a little bit. Gives them a little hope here. And
but Politano wants to shut the door on that.
Yep. And it looks like they've already made the call. They're going to maybe not. A couple things they can do here. They can put the guard back. They can play right down on top of their own and take that spot away from Segovia. Get their beater to the 4 foot here and be sitting 2. That may set up a double. And Segovia might be able to pull out a 2. So I believe she's with that broom, she's looking to guard that. I don't think she's going to try and get in all the way into the 4 foot. But that could be an option for him.
Sit out around the 12 foot, maybe a little deeper.
I think if you pull in next to that red on top, and fill that gap, try and put one rock where you really need 3. So guard that up. That's a big rotation on there. Keep it from over curling at the end. If you throw a weak handle and the rock does not rotate, it'll tend to follow the ice and go sideways at times.
Oh, they're it's going to sit right on top of their rock. Segovia's, that is.
Well, here's a predicament. Do you throw that big weight and get rid of that red on top? Do you just draw down in there? You just watched the broom selection and delivery of Politano's first stone and saw how much it curled. Do you throw a takeout at that rock? There's a big discussion here. I'm thinking they might call a timeout here if they don't make a decision soon. Just going to draw in there, similar to Politano's stone. I think she's going to try and freeze to that inside corner of that red stone closest to the center line. taking a hard look at those yellows on this side, and she keeps glancing back at those. I don't know what she sees there, because that's with that long guard out there, and then those other two. I can't really do too much with those on that left side. Some people argue with me there's a straight back raise there, but I think her best call here is just to limit her damage at this point. Try and get her rock in, get on the board, shake a little bit of the cobwebs here, get things rolling in the right direction.
It's great to see the smiles out of the young team. They are sitting very comfortably in the lead at 7-0 after 3, with 3 rocks left in the 4th end.
And the sweepers are going hard on this one. This is 3 rocks to play. Two more after this. This rock looks to be
calling it hard.
Over curling here. Got to get past that guard, get past that rock that Politano just threw. If she doesn't get past that rock, wow, nice shot. Yeah. But it does open it up to the hit. And Politano doing a little dance there in the house, feeling.
Can't contain her excitement, I guess.
She's excited. She wants to go after that yellow rock.
This team can hit. They do like to hit.
Well, and if they do hit that and slide over into the yellow rock or into the red-yellow combination, they could possibly be sitting 2 after this. Yellow is sitting 2 currently, I believe. Yep, with the overhead shot there, pretty obvious that yellow on the tee line. Right behind the red is second count. They're shooting at number 1. If they slide over and they pop that yellow, they could feasibly be sitting 3 or 4 if she hits it.
Well, this is her last throw. Hitting about the broom right away, keeping it straight.
Yeah, she's on it hard.
Oh, they want it hard. They want it hard. It must be close. Oh, just a bit off, but removed. Count stone.
Cut them to 1. So Segovia, sitting 1 with hammer to play here, needs to touch the 4-foot, or about an inch on the 4-foot to outcount the stone on the back of the 4-foot red circle. Doesn't need much of that, but kind of a dangerous play here, because if you get past those 2, the long guard and then the get into the house here, you're playing to play down to that red stone, and you have to really be the way those rocks are moving with draw weight. That rock comes in the top of the house almost on the center line to get to that back rock. I think they're just try and go straight down to the 1 here. You know, almost every draw has been down this center line. Everything else that was a hit or tap came on the outside. Nobody ever got out on this side very far.
Well, here it comes. Segovia's hammer. Can she generate some points? More than 1.
Looks like she's about in line with the long guard at this point. Gonna curl off
be
that.
Too light.
Curl off that. Go past the hog here. And wow, it's really hooking up hard. She needs a little rub here to roll back. Too much. So 1 yellow.
1 yellow.
Yep, we're on the 4th end break here.
You might hear a little vacuum cleaner shortly, but
one of our volunteers, great volunteers, Judy. We vacuum a little bit of the carpet and keep the dirt to a minimum, keep that ice as clean as we can.
Yeah, and at the 4th end break in the Swiss Helm Walsh game, Walsh came back with a deuce in 4th to go up 3-2 over Ann Swiss Helm. So very tight one-point game at the 4th end break. And our game, Politano with a commanding 7-1 lead after 4.
Swiss Helm not being able to generate a lot of offense, it seems, at this point. She took, I believe, the first was a steal, if I'm not mistaken, and came back and got her point.
It was a steal in the first for
And
Walsh.
then she stole another stone, and Walsh comes back with the deuce. It's going to be a good day. Be some good curling here.
Again, these four teams are battling it out in our tiebreaker game at 8 o'clock. They were all notched at 3 and 2 in pool play after round robin. And so now the victor of each of these games will go on to face Mandy Hampton, who has a pass right straight to the semifinals with a 4-1 record after round robin. Playing out of the Madison Curling Club. Oh, there we are. We're live. And Cynthia Smith, 4-1, playing out of the Denver Curling Club, Mid-America region. So Chris, you know, some exciting action so far. What can we expect in the second half?
Well, Segovia is going to have to come out here and try and generate a lot more offense, get some more points on the board, and she's going to have to do it from a steal position, steal her way back into this game. She's in essence going to have to do what Politano's been doing to her, get rocks in play, cover them up. They've just been making a lot of half shots, and Politano's team has been making the whole shots. And by making the entire, putting their rocks exactly where they want them, weight-wise, curl-wise, picking the right line. Segovia struggled a little bit with that. Her team has not been executing to the extent we saw in the round robin.
Well, and we can see it. Politano is very loose. That whole rink is just big smiles.
Giggles, laughing.
It is going to be. There's a tall order for Segovia right now, because I think they're a little shell-shocked.
I don't think they came out expecting to be down 7-1 after 4. I think they expected to be on the other end of that coin. And they're gonna have a long way to go in the next 4 ends.
Well, and if things continue to look as they do, what we'll do is we may leave this game after an end or two and pick up the Swiss Helm Walsh game, which is a tight game, for the finish on sheet D.
Sounds good. Teams have another minute and a half of break left here. Starting to put their coats back on and giving each other fist bumps. Rally speeches have been done by the coaches, and preparing for another 4 ends of battle.
It's going fast. They're that much closer to the semifinals at 12 o'clock Central here at the Wausau Curling Center.
So get on down here to watch those semis and finals. Get online.
Good point, Chris. If you're local and you're listening in, watching us, come on down for the action in person. We've got great seating. We've got beverages. We have food. It's $5 will get you in for curling all day. And not only curling, but the championship at 4 o'clock.
You know, what else are you going to do on a rather brisk Sunday morning? Yes, it's sun shining out, but it's only 14 degrees.
It was a beautiful sunshiny morning.
Yeah, their sun came up just as I got on the highway this morning coming to the club.
And I forgot my sunglasses while driving. There we see a score on sheet D with Walsh with a 3-2 lead over Ann Swiss Helm.
Back to our feature game. First rock going to be played here as soon as that clock timer winds down. You see in the background. And they'll have 10 seconds to complete their first stone. So Segovia is looking to put up a guard here. Switch strategies. She's got no hammer now. Finally got rid of that hammer. Sometimes you can't build a house with a hammer. You need a saw and nails, shingles.
All the tools.
Yep. And right now she's looking to put up a guard, and
Jessica Bostwick slips into the rings with that.
Yep. Segovia would like to see that stop about 2 feet short of the house or closer and not in the house.
We know that's going to go away right now.
Yep. Well, they're looking for curl on this one, sweeping for curl. Yeah, they're going to get a hit here. Get a piece of that rock and roll to the side, possibly out the door.
Or a swing on for a biter.
Segovia calls for another guard up in front. Staying with her
Smile
strategy.
from Politano. A little smirk.
Oh, those girls are having a good time there. Laughing and giggling during the break there.
I don't
Jumping
know if they
around
like
on the
this one
backboard.
either.
This one seems to be gliding quite a bit, and it's not finishing. It's going to finish here now. But out of hand, it's on its own.
On its own.
Yep.
So that one turned out okay.
Politano going up to the split house strategy. Put one in play on one side of the house. Make it really hard to get both of them out at the same time.
Yeah, let's see what this group of ladies can do with the hammer now, I guess. It's a dangerous position.
They did some damage without the hammer, that's for sure. And that's usually supposed to give you the advantage with last rock. Doesn't always work out that way. It looks like it's gotten a little straighter there. Didn't experience that big swing they were looking for it to pull all the way out on the flank there. Stayed close to the center line. Segovia looking to play another guard up here. Not quite ready to go to the house.
That's Isabella Vacour. Pronounce that correctly?
I guess is good as
Their second. You see Jessica calling out a number. Communicating to the skip where that rock is going to be.
The communication on the numbering system is the house is broken up into zones by the competitive curlers, usually called the Furby-Nedowin zone system, where there's a numbering system from the hog line to the top of the house is broken into 3 sections, 1 being near the hog line, 2, and then 3 being at the top of the house where those 2 yellow rocks reside. 4, 5, and 6 being the blue, white, and red rings as you go through the house. 7
above
is
the tee.
Above the tee. 7 at the tee line. 8, 9, and 10, the 4-foot red, white, and blue as you exit the house. So if they ask for a 10, they're looking for that rock to go to the back of the house. If they're looking for a 4, they're looking for the rock to stop on the top 12-foot. Quick exchange there by Politano. Takes the red, yellow rock out with the red, leaves the red. But the numbering system is a quick way to communicate where the sweepers believe the rock is going to stop. And a lot of the sweepers can predict within 2 to 3 feet. They aid themselves with stopwatches, doing the interval time from the back line to the hog line, do a snapshot or a prediction timing. So you see them all running stopwatches. The lead there's got hers hanging around her waist. Oh,
This one's going to hang in the back. If it does.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're going to hang on the back line there.
If I didn't mention it, we have semifinals at 12 o'clock Central Time and finals at 4 o'clock Central Time.
Mention it again. Make sure these people get up and go. Let's get them out here doing something.
That's right.
Watching curling.
Matt, I bet you could hop a flight and get here, land at Wisconsin Central Airport in time for the finals maybe and see Politano.
So Politano's draw around using that yellow rock as a stopper. Tried to get a little bit more curl on that.
And they knocked out
Wow.
Segovia Stone.
Just enough to get it out of there. Segovia is going to try and dive under that center red. third here to throw the stone here.
That's Alyssa Parks throwing those vice rocks.
Hoping it's curling here. They're not getting quite the swing they were before. That may be due to the lack of other players out in the arena. When it's a little bit warmer or a little more humidity out on the ice, more body heat will make the rocks perform differently, or the ice react differently. Politano looking to pick this one out of here. The first rock from her third.
Nice delivery from Megan.
Looking to get a little curl out of this stone. Sweeping it for curl on the inside there. Going to drag it in. Got it almost up to nose. I think Politano was looking for a hit on the inside, but with the lead she's got, the rock can pretty much stay open. She's not going to get a big fight out of Segovia on shooting that stone, at least not at this point. Segovia needs rocks to score. Continue to draw in the house here.
This is second.
Settling a little bit, looking to get that rock to curl a little bit more there. Just kind of letting it settle on its own because it's on that red stone. And it becomes count. Politano's going to go to pick that one out again. Can't hit it and roll in, so she's looking to hit it and roll over her red rock. Cover the rock she's right over.
Giving her an inch more ice. Megan Stopera.
Sweeping early. Just need a little bit of weight.
Or it's close.
Hear her hollering.
And she gets that roll.
Well, she was looking to roll on the outside, so they were sweeping hard to keep it straight. They wanted to try and take that rock straight back or to the center of the rock, to the center of the house, and not risk that jam. So that was a half shot there. Scored. You left them in the open, but you left them in count also. I'd consider that probably one of the first misses on the Politano rink. Second miss. First miss was the clip of the free guard.
We'll see if it comes back to bite them.
Right. Segovia looking to draw underneath again. Try and hide in the center on the top of the forefoot behind that long red guard. See if her rock finishes a little better than
No sweeping.
Nope. Doesn't seem to be moving quite as fast out there. Be a little up on weight also. Looks like it's house, but just not quite cutting like it was. Politano's gonna play the hit and the roll behind. This time I don't think she cares if she runs that yellow onto the yellow. Third's taking a look at that, so she's got the angle on that. Politano wasn't too worried about it. She just wants to hit that rock and get underneath that cover.
Maybe Matt can help us with pronunciation. How do you pronounce Politano's first name? Is it Sarah? Sarah?
If you have any questions, anything you want to have us try and explain to you or comment on, please give us a shout out on the online broadcast. The
Hitting a stick.
leaves 3. Red in a power situation here with the hammer. Sitting 3 up 7 to 1. This could shut the door if they Segovia doesn't do something with the stone. Needs to get on the inside of that red stone and be sitting count. Hopefully covered up here, or this could be lights out.
We'll give you an update. Oh, it's hung already. So Ann Swisshelm with her hammer scores 2 to go up 4 to 3 now over Sarah Walsh. After 5. Say Ray. Like Renee. There you go.
Segovia.
Thank you.
Throwing her hammer stone, her last stone, with Politano's hammer to follow. Looking to get some curl here and get in the house. Looks a little light. They are working hard on this one. And with it being have to sweep it that hard, it's not curling quite the way they want it to. They're going to have to go hard. Wow, and she gets to count and gets about half covered behind that red guard. Looking at the overhead, about third of that stone is exposed. And the way it curls there, Politano may be able to get to this and
looking like
score.
They like the
Well, they want to make sure they hit it out, and they could sacrifice one of their own to accomplish that, because if they can do it and stick the shooter, score the shooter, they'll still have 3. So I believe I don't know that they're going to play off of theirs.
No?
I think that's an option. I don't know that that would be my straight up call.
Well, their brooms are moving between the two.
Well, and if she throws pretty solid weight here, catches the inside quarter of that stone, slams over into the yellow, yellow pops out along the T line. Let's see what she gives for weight here.
Here it comes. The hammer. Say Ray. No.
She's screaming no.
Now it's hard.
Must be close. What are they looking for? They're looking for the slam.
Not hard enough.
Oh, no. She was way underweight for that shot. She needed a bunch more weight the way those rocks moved. So, a big steal keeps Segovia in the game. Politano coming up a little bit light on that hit.
7 to 2. Say Ray. Politano.
So a shameless plug here for USA Curling and Wausau Curling Club. We've got merchandise on sale here.
I'm not sure if we do anymore.
Oh.
I don't know. It might not come out until the semifinals. I know it wasn't out there when I got my coffee.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you can make arrangements to pick up a hat, sweater, gloves, anything with any of the USA Curling logos on it, or Wausau Curling logos.
Event logos. Yeah, I'm sure those things will all come out. I just don't know when, but you know what? Come on down and get it before it's gone, for sure. We'll have 12 o'clock semifinals after this, and 4 o'clock Central for the gold, silver, bronze games.
Yeah, make sure you get down here before all the seats are gone. A lot of people were here yesterday watching the round robin games, and I believe we'll see a big turnout of crowds later in the day.
Chuck Miller, my announcer on Thursday and Friday, he's watching, and he, good point, 11 games plus practice on the stones, which are the USCA competition stones that were textured. Some lost the curl. Yeah, last night we were seeing about maybe 6, 5.5.
Yep, I'd agree with 5.5. Certain areas were curling more than others. Really played on areas seem to be running much straighter. But that could have been a lot lack of pebble wear on the ice. Just a lot of A lot of work by the curlers to wear that pebble out. And a lot of times when the ice gets flat, they curl farther. But it seems like it's working just the opposite here. At least last evening it was during the 8 o'clock draw.
I think we'll finish this 6th end with the Politano rink, and we'll pick up 7 and 8 on sheet D with Swisshelm and Walsh.
So for our support people upstairs can start looking at setting up for those, working on their layering. Getting the score, the names up, the scoreboards up. We appreciate that.
Jessica Bostwick, lead of Team Segovia. Asked to put up, no, to come in. I'm looking at my replay. Caught myself looking at my replay.
Yep, she's looking to get in round there. And Politano's thinking about what she's going to do here. She's going to draw the wing. Draw the other side of the house. Keep that rock open. And put some rocks in play.
Curling.
Kind of took a little jump there almost.
It
oh, reversed handle.
Did it pick?
Yep, it picked. You see the hand go up to the forehead on the player that delivered the stone. Oh my gosh, she's like, what just happened?
That might be the first pick that I've seen.
I would believe that to be. The hand to the forehead is always uh-oh, what's going to happen here? And Skip's got to figure out what to do with that rock. Now it's kind of created a log jam in front of that yellow stone. And Segovia is going to try and go around to put another one in there. Speed looks pretty good. Right down on the 4-foot. I believe we're going to see a lot of rocks in play. Politano's going to try not to get any rocks in play here. She's going to try and keep it clean. Be able to use her hammer to.
She wants Amber Will to come down and take care of some rocks for her. That's a good shot of Amber. Megan's sweeping right away out of hand.
Amber's relative, Jake Will, curled out of the Wausau Curling Club.
Oh, that's
in
her?
juniors, yeah. Yep, he stopped in. We got about a 30-second conversation. Hi, bye, see you later. We'll catch up more.
That was a while ago that Jake curled.
Yep. But he did come to support her. Came up to see family, I'm sure, and rest of his family. It was nice to see him.
Well, there we go. I didn't know that connection existed. Now we do.
Yeah, actually, Tim Cucciarelli had asked me if there was a connection there, and when Jake walked through the door, we kind of assumed that
Well,
it was.
That's good.
Confirmation there.
Good deductions.
Yeah.
Well played. Oh, Segovia is
Sits 3.
Sitting 3.
Wow, that wasn't quite what she was asking for, but she got a good result. And smiles popping up on the Segovia team. Look at that. Got little bright spots in their game.
That's good. That's good. They're happy.
Still a 5-point deficit, but 3 rocks in play makes you feel a lot better when you haven't been developing much offense.
Politano still has hammer.
Yep, that's very true.
So Amber Will second. Wants to take care of some more granite. Move things around. Changes the dynamic.
And is sitting second count on top of the 4-foot with Segovia stone on the tee line, just out counting for first. So Segovia's looking to put a rock just about on the center line, I believe, just on the top of the 8-foot, kind of protect their shot rock. But they want to be in play. Utilize as many points as possible here. I believe she's got house weight. They're not sweeping, so I think it's. You get the hand wave of the stone. I don't know if that slows the rock down. now. Little chip on that red, and yellow sits 2. But in a precarious position there, unguarded on the center line. Probably wanted to be about 4 feet higher there to be able to be raised in later and protect the count stone. You can almost shoot an around the world shot here. Come off the inside of that yellow rock that landed in the 4-foot. Roll into the red, up into the yellow, and back up to the count stone. It's not too many of those times you get to throw a stone like that, and not a lot of players will play that. Maybe Bill will set this practice up. He'll take this screenshot here and set this up for the girls and say, hey, look, we've got a around the world possibility where the rock actually will travel backward up the sheet.
I saw Andrew sitting up there, and he is not looking out. He's looking down, but he would see that, I'm sure, too.
I would think so.
But here they are. Oh,
they might
actually
get
with
this.
weight.
Boom. Nope.
Yeah, they got halfway around the world.
Halfway around the world. Well, they accomplished 2 things. They got rid of the object stone, and they are now sitting count with a back guard.
Yeah.
And kind of a front guard with that corner of the 4 covered. Definitely in the driver's seat right now. Swing things around.
So Alyssa Parks delivering her second stone.
Leaving remaining skips rocks on both sides.
Sweeping.
Need to get by that top rock.
They are by.
Oh, great sweeping.
Yeah, great shot.
Beautiful, leaving it right there on the top of that red.
Great sweeping, great sweep calls. That's a team shot right there.
Supers did their job. The skip called proper line. Got it right to where they needed to go. Oh, little jabs back and forth there.
Very smooth delivery from Megan Stopera. Amber's just out for a stroll next to this rock.
She's just kind of making sure that the weight's where it needs to be. Wow, they're going to get this right in position.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, nice shot, but if they would have swept that a little earlier, they could be in the catbird seat tied up tight on that yellow. I think they wanted to get down to the other side of it or right on top of it.
Well, it's narrowing the scoring area. There's a lot of rocks on the left side.
Down to about a 16-inch circle that you can put a rock in and score.
Politano has hammer.
I think she's looking to get right on the center line here. You can see that that's about a 5-foot broom to the center line. Middle of the 12-foot. Gets you 5 feet back to the house. You can see the time differential there. Tano's clock ticking down. She's used quite a bit more of her think timing. Still a lot of time left to play the game. If she runs out of time, it's game over. But
Segovia's time.
Sorry, Segovia's time. She throws her first of 2. Politano's 2 to follow. Looking like it's curling up to the center here. That's where she wants to go. How deep do they get? Okay, and a bit over curl from where they wanted to stop, I believe. So Politano's looking at, how do I remove this yellow stone? Or do I just want to outcount it by drawing right to the top of the 1? play the tap back on that. If I can get just enough of it, I will be able to move it. This is a hard shot for Politano. If you raise that red, it's going to go to the outside of that yellow. Yellow's going to come back on the red and possibly pop open, but it would sit on the center line in the back of the forefoot. And your redstone might not have counted at that point. So you may not advance your position at all. You'd be moving their rock into an open position.
You see Coach Bill popping over off his chair to take a look.
Mm-hmm. Trying to make sure the angles are there. I'm sure he's finding some teachable moments in this. So they've had just those couple misses. That reverse handle pick was actually a pretty big move on this, because that's where all the piling up those rocks started, is when that got a double guard over it.
Surrey Politano. Nice shot of her delivery. And they're sweeping right away, out of hand.
Doing a good job of holding it. It's not curling up to the center line quite as fast as Segovia's did, but not much heavier than that. It's going to park right next to Segovia's. But there you see the difference in picking up the sweep a little bit sooner. That rock traveled a stone and a half less.
Mm-hmm.
So sweeping does affect the path, or
if you can get that rock swept a little bit before you start to get a break on that curl, you know,
carried a lot straighter for a lot longer.
Take advantage of it. Once it starts the curl, then you're in for a battle.
Have to anticipate the curl. Watch where you've seen the curl break and sweep just on the cusp of that. Segovia throwing their last stone of the end. Yellow's last stone of the end. Trying to draw around that red stone on top that Politano just left there. And trying to get to the top 1 foot here. And looks like they're going to have a piece of that red stone. Just can't quite make it around there. So, with yellow sitting 1, does Politano just give her the 1? Or does she try and outcount it, outdraw it? Coach Bill Stapera looking there. Can't see what he really thinks there. He's going to adjust his hat. Well, she took a look at the raise. She's taking a look at the draw around. And not a lot of difference in the broom that Segovia took, just a couple inches more. And I'm going to try and get around Segovia's rock. And get to that top 1 foot. To outcount the yellow. Hammer
Smiling
stone
as she delivers.
Yeah, I don't think she's too worried about this stone if she makes it or doesn't make it. She's only given away 1 with a 7-2 lead. I don't think you want to sweep or curl quite yet. Make sure you're getting around that yellow stone. It's a nice stone coming down. Didn't quite curl up the way they wanted it to, just a little heavy. And 1 yellow stole. Segovia stays alive.
She stays on the steel train. Steals 1 in the 6th. Still trails Politano 7-3 now.
This steel train, is that similar to the Schuster train?
Could be, I guess. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what the Schuster train is.
We'll have to go over that after this game. You'll get a
Um,
kick out of that. That's an old YouTube that's out there
um,
from previous Olympics when Schuster was not playing well.
well, then we can
No
leave
offense,
that. We
John.
can leave that in the archives. So on sheet D, an update: Swiss Helm also on the steel train. Walsh had her hammer shot and tried to cut down or score against Swiss Helm, but Swiss Helm stole two more. So now after 6, it's 6-3, and Swiss Helm over Sarah Walsh. So I think 7-3, 6-3.
Segovia's working her way back in here. She's throwing up a guard. And, oh, that one just glided into the house. Didn't look like it was going to get that deep. And Politano's going to try and limit stones at this point. 2 ends to play. Looks like they might have flared that one out on release.
See how these 2 ends play out between these 4 teams.
Might bounce back and forth with our coverage, depending on how we go, how the ends play out here. Segovia looking to build a wall, try and hide behind it, keep stealing. 2 ends to steal 4 more, but she has stolen 2. And that is a positive for her game right now. So real long guard just over the hog. Doesn't do a lot of helping way out there, but they'll try and use that in some way. Politano takes a look at that rock kind of angularly and determines that she's just going to keep playing her game. Throw the rocks up into play and let the other team make the mistakes. Close shot over on sheet D. You can hear the voices of the delivery person and the person in the house yell and sweep. Seems to be an issue with the clock or the timer. They'll discuss that with the officials. Sometimes things happen. People hit the wrong key on the keyboard when they're doing timing. Officials have conferred with the players. Everything seems to be okay. And Segovia's going to try and call is going to be to play top house down to that stone. Curl around that long guard. Use that long guard for coverage. Third rock of the end for Segovia. Without hammer, looking to build an end, try and steal away. Nice looking stone here. If they can get it all the way down to that rock and freeze it, it's a great shot. I think she's too worried about being counted at this point, but she wants to get some rocks in play and hiding on. Politano's probably going to play. This would be the 6th rock of the end. She now can go after that free guard rock. peel that rock out of the way. Whoa, slid right by. Might get a bonus here. Oh, picked one out in the house. Just a slight miss on the card they were trying to get rid of and picked that yellow out. Fortunate for Politano, but a little devastating for Segovia. Close miss turns into a good make. Segovia looking to have her second draw into the house here. A little extra weight here. Looks like they might be drawing the back 4, back 8. Sweeping on there and draw it out all the way to the top, back 12. Yeah, they'd like to have a reverse on those two positions, but here we go again. Politano's trying to remove that long guard, keep it wide open. Will delivers his own. Looks a little closer to line this time and splits that stone off. So Segovia trying to use that red rock as a backer again. A back guard or a protector of that rock. So they have something to jam into if Politano tries to take it out. Doing whatever she can to steal here. Fighting her way back in. But never give up attitude. They're sweeping. Look like they're going to get this top 8 foot possibly touch the 4 foot. Trying to get it to go a little bit farther, get back to that red stone so it's got a little protection. The farther away it is from other stones, the easier it is to pick it out. And Politano calling for a hit on that stone. Mission accomplished. Rolls out with it, keeps the house fairly clean. Politano in control with the red rock in the red of the 4 foot and hammer. Last stone of the end. Politano trying to hide, or Segovia trying to hide a rock on top of Politano's here on the 4 foot. Took a little less broom this time with a guard not in the way. Not too worried about it this time. Looking to come down on top of that red stone, freeze to it. Trying to give it some kind of protection. Working hard on this one. No. Back on it again. See, take a look and be pretty close to the same spot. They're going to get it a little closer. Wow, nice shot.
Great shot.
Rock is frozen, so that's hardly any space, if at all, between those two stones. So to remove that rock, it becomes much more difficult when it's welded or frozen to that stone.
And the fact that it's a corner freeze is that's key too.
Good point. She hits that on the outside, the side that her broom is on. It doesn't care if she loses her red rock behind it. You can split them both out. They'll go out on a Y pattern from the impact.
See Megan kind of directing traffic from her end.
Sweep it to keep it straight here.
Oh, yeah.
And caught the back one, so essentially double. And left their rock in the 12 foot. Not quite as advantage as it was in the 4, but no yellow rocks to score. No chance for a steal at this point. Less of a chance for Segovia to build anything. They're having to talk about where they want to put the rock. Do you want to put it up in front? Do you want to put it back here by the other one? And they decided to draw down to the red one. And building on sheet D, as we watch a fairly clean house, red's sitting in the 4-foot. Sheet D at this point. So back to our stream sheet. Segovia trying to draw down to the red rock in the back 12-foot. Sweeping right out of hand. Possibly for weight, possibly for line, both.
Does look light.
I think she's going to stop Maya at the tee line.
Parks comes out and lends a hand.
Yeah, a lot of times that third sweeper gets in the way.
Yeah, I would agree, but you feel kind of helpless. Sometimes you can take over for a sweeper, but
yep, and those sweepers been out there for 6 ends, and they've been working hard. And sometimes rejuvenates the other players by giving them a hand.
well, after you're yelling at them to sweep all the way down the sheet, and they see you just standing there.
That's never happened to you, Steve.
No.
Come on now.
No.
We played together before, and I've never yelled at you to sweep. Asked you to sweep, maybe in a very loud, demanding voice, but I've asked you to sweep. Nobody ever tells you what to do out there.
Oh, of course not.
So the first of 2 for Politano with the hammer. 3 rocks remaining. Trying to split the house, keep her rocks apart, so Segovia can't take them both out at the same time. Not that Segovia's going to throw a takeout at this point.
Let's jump over, guys, if we can, to sheet D. We have a Sarah Walsh shot here.
Politano draws in for second count.
We can switch to sheet D.
For first count, making her other rock second count.
Maybe not. So
Can we get overhead on sheet 5, sheet D? There we got some camera work.
there we go.
Sarah Walsh's shot coming down to,
Oh.
wow. Looking to remove that yellow. There might be a measure on this shot. I'm not really sure.
Giving it to red, giving it to Walsh. So with the hammer, Walsh only scores 1.
6-4.
She won't have the hammer. Coming home in the 8th will be Ann Swisshelm with the hammer up 2. Looking for a bid in the semifinals at 12 o'clock today. It's looking also like Surrey Politano's rink out of Ardsley will meet them, not meet them, but meet in the semifinals as well at noon.
Still have an end to play here, and I don't think Walsh is going to give up on sheet D, excuse me.
Definitely not, but she'll look to score 2 the hard way.
Yep, definitely, and she had not scored 2 without the hammer.
And she's being asked to score 2 the hard way against a huge competitor in Ann Swisshelm. Got off to a slow start, but got her team squared away with a couple steals.
The Walsh rink here throwing up a guard. Can be a long guard, just over the hog, zone 1.
Those of you joining us, welcome. We're picking up 8th end coverage on sheet D. Ann Swisshelm from the Detroit Curling Club, curling out of the Great Lakes Curling Association, playing Sarah Walsh and the San Francisco Bay Area club she brought out of the Mopac region. Sarah Walsh is down 2 points without the hammer, coming home.
In the 8th end, final end of the game, unless they tie it up and go to extra ends.
Handshakes on Napolitano, or maybe not. Maybe they're just giving each other handshakes. No, it is handshakes. So, Sire Napolitano from Ardsley scores 1 to go up 8-3 after 7. It actually looks like they're still going to play the 8th.
Having their little team meetings on the ice and get their refocus, see what they can do. Not quite given up yet. And Walsh's second stone comes to rest as a zone 2 guard, almost touching that center line.
When you want to steal, guards are your friends.
Swiss Helm's first rock slid into the back of the house. Looking to draw another one here around that long guard. I believe she's looking to get the top 4 under that guard. Last rock got a little deep.
Megan Armstrong. Oh, this is not Megan. This is Ann's team.
Stephanie Whitmore? No. Jenny. Lead second stone. Actually, don't know their names aren't on the shirts, so I don't know if they have their 5th in today.
Well, that's Stephanie right there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that's Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is San Fran.
That I've got. I'm just looking for the players for the Swiss Elm team. They have a 5-person roster. They do have their names on their shirts on the back. So.
I'll let you sort that out, Chris.
I'll just stay with seconds, thirds, leads in the team name. Not to erroneously call somebody else. And Swiss Helm looking to clear some stones. I believe she's making sure she's eyeing up that double, knows where to hit it to get 2 of them if they need to. If she so desires. There's the one, and rolls the shooter over to the open side of the house.
They do have a 5-person roster, but Elizabeth did not come to Club Nationals.
Oh, okay.
She may be watching, though.
And who is out there watching? 122.
Yeah.
Nice stream. I'd like to see a few more of you.
So tell your friends,
come back. Everybody here come back and bring a friend.
We're in the 8th end of both of these games, the tiebreakers for the women's round robin. All these teams out there were 3-2. We picked up coverage. We left Politano versus Segovia and picked up Swiss Helm versus Walsh. Walsh is coming home without the hammer. Down 2. Looking for a berth in the semifinals at 12 o'clock here at the Wausau Curling Center in the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championship. There's a good shot of Ann, former Olympian, current reigning senior national gold medalist.
Traveling to Korea for Senior Worlds. Women's Senior Worlds. Walsh looking to draw the 1 foot down underneath her reds. Looking for a little sweep here to get some distance and to keep it straight. Get around those guards. Rocks on top of the house and pull that all the way into the 4-foot. Looks like it's got good line, but does it have enough weight? Oh, gonna fade there at the top of the house. Gives them another guard.
Two teams await the winners of these games. Mandy Hampton out of Madison Curling Club, the Wisconsin State Curling Association representative, and then Cynthia Smith,
last year's champion.
Yes, and then Cynthia Smith out of the Denver Curling Club in the Mid-America Conference.
Swiss Home looking to remove some rocks here. Hopefully looking at a double. Split both those red stones out of there and roll her shooter out. And here urging her sweepers on.
And oh, look at this shot.
Wow. And didn't quite get the double, but it gets her rock into position to be the scoring stone, and Walsh is to the just ring biter positions. Not too worried about her yellows hanging out in the open back there. I think she's more worried about keeping the red from scoring more than one. Especially with hammer. 6 rocks to play, including this stone. Looking for a rock to set up here. Top 4. Might be a little bit deep. Get to the tee line and just behind the 4. Back 4. Yeah, and so someone's going to take a look at this one, see if she can get in there. Probably with a softer, quieter weight. Yep, going to play the draw in. There's the call again. Probably from about the middle of the 12, yep. And I'm guessing she's going to be sweeping that just to keep it a little straighter. Yep. So looking at the weight, looking at the curl, how it's spaced on those guards coming into the house. Waiting for it to set up a little bit here, and right down to that, going to tap it back a little bit. Anne's going to work hard to get this one out.
Oh yeah.
Down to the back of the house. Yellow sitting too. Looking good for Swiss Helm at this point in the end.
Handshakes for the Politano-Segovia game. So Sire Politano will move on to the semifinals. And she will face Mandy Hampton, the #1 seed.
The young Ardsley team. Sarah Politano, Megan Stapera, Amber Will, and Elizabeth Harmon. With Coach Bill Stapera.
Congratulations to them. Brother Andrew sitting in the stands. So they'll stick around the club a little longer, at least until noon.
Sarah Walsh delivering first of her 2 stones with Annie Swiss Helm 2 rocks remaining. Sarah trying to draw in on top of the 4-foot. Follow the Swiss Helm shot that just came in there. Try and get on the inside of that rock. Well, this is a nice looking shot. Does it get there? It does. Well played. Well swept. Nice team shot.
And likes that other side of the sheet.
No, she doesn't have a lot of avenue to get in there. She wants to give her something else to look at it. I think she's thinking that Sarah's going to have to try and pile another one in there, and if she can get one closer coming around this other side, because the rocks are offset on the side they just came down, so there's a little more of the 1 foot open from the other way. So once you clear, if you go to the overhead, once you clear clear that top rock, you can almost curl to that red stone. Or at least in the past 2 days you were able to. So she's looking to get on the 1 foot before Walsh gets there.
And if she does, then it's in big trouble.
I think even if she covers it up, it makes it severely tough on Walsh.
2 rocks left after this one. Swiss Helm with the hammer.
The sweepers are sweeping. Hope they're off again. They did not clear the guard. Unfortunate for Swiss Helm. I believe there's still a shot there, but we weren't watching that line as much. Might not have taken enough broom there.
Well, now Walsh has an opportunity to get her 2 in there that she needs.
It's for the tie, yep. And if she can lock in on that red stone just like she did on the yellow, and just to the inside of that, that could make Swiss Helm's life a little tough. This shot made here probably puts us in an extra end.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's
we
see.
said that last night with about a half an end to play, and unfortunately it had materialized. Unfortunately for one of the teams.
Good shot of Sarah.
Walsh's second shot. Final shot for red.
And this is it. It's either gonna.
I believe they're gonna have to start sweeping here. Gotta get on it.
Sweeping to straight.
Well, I think they can risk bumping it. But
oh, jeepers!
Couldn't see the line from where I sat, but that
it looks like they're
gonna
probably
shake.
waiting around. Yeah, they're waiting.
Yep.
Who's gonna hold their hands out? Here we go.
Yep. Well, Swiss Helm will advance.
Great game. 2 great teams. So yes, and Swiss Helm Rink out of Detroit, and the Great Lakes Curling Association moves on, and will play Cynthia Smith out of the Denver Curling Club in the Mid-America region.
And Swiss Helm's team with Melissa Turbo, Stephanie Whitmore, and Jenny Levy.
So
Hear the claps, audience out here.
tiebreakers are done, and the semifinals are set for the women. Mandy Hampton will face Politano, and Ann Swiss Helm will face Smith at noon today from the Wausau Curling Center in the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships. So there's hugs and happiness all around for the Swiss Helm rink.
Congratulations to both teams advancing, and
Yeah.
we appreciate
Thanks for
early
joining us
morning
on the
effort.
stream. Yeah, waking up with some coffee and watching us. I'm sure you'll be back with us at 12 o'clock Central for those semifinals.
Yes,
The
please. Bring your friends. Tell your friends about the curling. Share it on Facebook.
The other semifinal games on the men's side would be Justin McBride out of Hollywood versus Ward out of Eau Claire, and Rabillo out of St. Paul, Far below, excuse me, and Mansell out of former winner out of the Denver Curling Club. So we look forward to those matchups at noon.
Should be some fantastic curling. Come on down or log in on the stream.
And until then, I'm Steve O'Keefe.
I'm Chris Horick,
Thanks for joining us.
and good curling.